let's actually start this off with the player comps because, and Jared Kelenic kind of comes into play here, and I'll get to that in a second. But I want to start there because it gives me a chance to reiterate how much I don't like comps. I can't stand them, but the reason I hate them is the key here. I think people misunderstand what the comp means. Not you all, most likely, but people in general don't really understand what the comp is actually for. If I comp a kid that's in the draft, whether he's an 18-year-old high school kid or a 21-year-old college kid, if I comp a kid in the draft to say Matt Holliday, I'm not predicting that player's going to be Matt Holliday. Comps mean different things depending on who they're thrown on. A young developing player that isn't even remotely near the majors, like a draft prospect, it's about reasonable ceiling. We're thinking about the role. What role is this guy going to play at the big league level? So when I throw out comps, I'm not even comping an outfielder to an outfielder always. Usually it works out that way, but not always. And sometimes I'm comping a right-handed hitter to a left-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter to a right-handed hitter. But role is the operative word here, and we'll get back to that as well. If I comp a 22-year-old prospect in AAA to Matt Holliday, I'm saying he has a reasonable chance to achieve similar value as did Matt Holliday. I don't have to dream as much to get to that ceiling because he's 22 years old and has come up through the minors already. He's not a 21-year-old college kid who's never seen a pro pitch or a player that has competed at high school at the highest level. So if I comp a player to Matt Holliday, I'm saying some specific things, but in general, it's a lot of bat, a little glove. He's not going to hit 50 homers, but he might hit 30 to 50 doubles, and he should hit for high averages. That's what I'm saying. And that tells you that it's a player that can hit second, third, fourth, fifth, depending on the lineup. Comps are about roles, not style of play. And that's why I comped Jared Kelenic to, guess, Matt Holliday. Yes, Holliday was a right-handed bat that never projected in center field. Didn't run as well as Kelenic really at any point, although early he was an average runner and Kelnic's above average. The measurable values are very, very similar. Holliday had 3 6-win seasons, one of those a 7-win season, and had 5 other seasons between 3 and 4.5 wins. That's a really good career. That's a great career. And if he would have done that a little longer, not got hurt toward the end, we'd be talking about Matt Holliday as a Hall of Famer. For Kelenic, I've seen Grady Sizemore thrown around. And the reason that I think those comps are fraudulent is because, first of all, you start with the reasons for it. Obviously, they're doing it because both are left-handed hitters. They have somewhat similar swings. They're really not as similar as some of those folks want to say, and they're built somewhat similarly. Well, they were 3 years ago when you compared Grady Sizemore major leaguer to Jared Kelenic in A-ball. Kelnic's a much bigger, stronger guy now than Sizemore ever was. I just don't care about style. Style's not it. The substance here is what matters. The job of a comp is to provide context on the role the player can play in the majors, not how it might look. So sometimes position isn't really the best way to comp a player. I don't always comp a center fielder to a center fielder or a left fielder to any outfielder or a first baseman to a first baseman or a third baseman to a third baseman. Sizemore was much more of a speed player than Kelenic. He's stuck in center. Not that Kelenic can't play center, but he's bulked up. He's gotten a lot stronger, which is going to help him at the plate, which means he's a little bit better of a fit in left. Although, while Kyle Lewis, things are just a little easier for him in center field now, and he's done a remarkable job there getting back to where he was athletically pretty much most of the way, as much as can be expected. When players age, they sometimes do lose a little bit of explosion in their steps. And, it's not like Lewis is 35, he's 25, but still that does happen. You go from 200 pounds to 218 pounds or something like that, and you lose a little bit and Lewis has lost a little bit of that explosion. Although so is Kelenic because he's gotten bigger and stronger as well. Lewis is just a little better fit in center field right now. So Kelnic's going to play left. Sizemore, again, speed, think about the speed. He stole over 100, like 120 bases first 4 seasons. And while he peaked at 33 home runs, he had just 2 seasons out of the 6 healthy ones he had where he slugged 500 or more. Sizemore was a very good player, but he got there a lot differently than Kelenich's going to. A lot of folks are caught up in handedness and style and comps, but while you're stuck on that, you miss the entire point. So that's my take on comps.